of Long Beach, California. Well, um,
It's just
and what was it?
reconnecting, so I don't know
Oh,
what
it
that
says
means.
reconnecting.
Yeah, it's working now. Go.
Oh, okay. So the thing about Long Beach, California, is that we believe, and we could do a deeper dive just to make sure about the research, but um, we believe that right around here on East Broadway in Long Beach was where Graphic Story shop and Wonder World comic shop was located. And what's important about that comic shop was it was run by Richard Kyle, and as well as Fred Patton. And Richard Kyle is they were just instrumental in bringing, particularly Fred Patton was instrumental in bringing Japanese manga and anime into the U.S., particularly manga. And Richard Kyle had Graphic Story Monthly, a magazine, where he first used the term graphic novel. So Richard was really somebody who was very much into comics. He was a smart guy and very aware of comics' importance and value as a cultural, a medium. So Jack Kirby used to come to the shop here, and one of the times that he came here, he was looking at comics that were done by Philippe Drouillet from France, who was the one of the heavy metal or metal hurlant artists, and he he was Jack was really influenced. I believe there's an anecdote about Jack holding it up and going, "This is how comics should be," or something, just because of the great presentation and how wild Drouillet's art was, and that you can actually see in an early issue of Mr. Miracle, issue 2, issue 3, that Jack put some interesting panel borders around that were mechanical. And those of us who study these things, we think that that was a Drouillet influence from having seen Drouillet here at Wonder World. So well, the other thing that was great about, amongst many other things, but the one thing that was great about Richard Kyle was that at one point, after a convention, I believe, Jack and Roz were having dinner with Richard, and Jack started telling stories. As Jack did, he would tell stories about World War II, his experiences in World War II, and I think Roz gave him a suggestion. Enough with the war stories, Jack. How about something else? so Jack told a story about his growing up on the Lower East Side, and it just so happened that Richard Kyle had gotten the rights to the word, the magazine Argosy, which is if you were a magazine person, a pulp person, you would know Argosy as a storied name of an old magazine from the early 20th century. And so Richard was going to bring Argosy magazine back, and Jack told this story about growing up on the Lower East Side, and that is what became Street Code. So when we do the walking tour on the Lower East Side, we often do a reading of Street Code, because Street Code is in 10 pages, his only purely autobiographical story. He is a character, his mom appears, and it is just an absolute treasure. And we have Richard Kyle to thank for that, because Jack told that story at dinner, and Richard Kyle said, "I'll publish it, Jack, you draw it." And they worked it out, and it ended up getting published in, I believe, '83 in Argosy, with just Jack's pencils and then some lettering and panel borders. So the shop isn't here anymore, the newsstand isn't here anymore, there's a parking garage. Maybe we're not in the right location. But that's what was going on in downtown San Diego, was Richard Kyle's comic shop. So we just thought we would step in live and talk about that a little bit, and maybe we'll make a better version of this and provide some illustrations or put some links in. at the description that talks a little bit more about Drew EA, Mr. Miracle, Richard Kyle, and Fred Pat. And that's it. Bye.